Hello, fellow builders, and welcome back to the Bench Mediocre Modeler on part 3 of our Mandalorian update for Wonderfest. Last time we left, I was finishing up some wire. Well, I needed to run and go get some wiring, and I did that, but I wanted to finalize the film. Then I immediately started, so I had to start on the other side. I had some epiphanies, and those epiphanies take us out to the shed. I learned my lesson on using this contact adhesive in the house. The rule used to be, and it still is, if it's stinky and dirty, you do it in the garage. Well, the new house, it's stinky and dirty, do it in the shed. Well, we're in the shed. So, if you remember last year, my bandsaw died, and I had to say farewell to it. Well, I kind of did and kind of didn't, because there it is. I couldn't just bring myself to throw it away for the little parts that I needed, but I had a little bit of a windfall and I decided to go and buy myself a new little bandsaw. The reason I really wanted it is because my plan to do here is to take my phone and on the other shoulder I cut these out individually, but it occurred to me it would be easier if I just glued them all together and then cut them up. So that way they're all cut the same, just very thick. I'm gonna get 4 of them, glue them together, and then decide whether I'm gonna go to 5 or not, because the one side has the extra piece where there's an overlap. I don't think I'm going to do that on the right side, but let's get the 4 together, see what it looks like, mock up a little bit of greeblies on there to see what it looks like, and from that point we'll decide what we're gonna do, okay? So first things first, let's get these things glued together. Still a bit chilly today, so to help speed this process along, we're going to use our heat gun just to add a little bit of warm air. Once we turn it on. That's it for a while. See what we get. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to hold on to these because I don't know what I could use them for. Stack them up there like that. There. And there like that. Put them all back under the weight. And we'll deal with this tomorrow. Give them time to really compress. Okay. So, basically we finished off this side just like the other side. We
Took our 2mm foam, we cut ourselves a strip out, wrapped it around, glued her on. Also went ahead and added these bottom pieces to both sides. For that, I had some LED strip left over from the Battlestar Galactica helmet build, and we have, with a little bit of wiring, we have lights. Whoop. Come here. Lights! Yay! Now I know from there that doesn't look like enough. A lot. We don't want a lot. We just want to accent. We don't want to illuminate. We want to accent. So, got to figure out a switch for that. But, here we go. Now, this side, I went on ahead. Aww. It fell on the glue bottle and put a hole in it. Whoop. Whoop. Too much. Too much. Too much. That's okay. That's no biggie. Luckily, it's on the backside. Battle damage. Battle damage. It's on the backside anyway. But, so, went to the store, got some plastic dip. Well, back that up. Took the heat gun and heat sealed it all to get that going. Then I was testing to see how well the plastic dip was going to cover over our white foam, and it looks like it's going pretty good. So the next step is going to be to go on ahead and finish getting this all plastic dipped and ready for our surface greeblying. But before I go any further, I still got to figure out how I'm going to get this guy on this guy. And here's what I came up with. Magnets. I know. Every time I say magnets, I don't use magnets. But hear me out this time. Okay, so the thing I like about the Mandalorians, when they put the backpack, the jetpack on, 9 times out of 10, they just grab it and they just go click, click, and they put it on, and you don't see any attachment. You typically don't see any attachment points. And I like the idea with the way my setup is. Let me go grab it. So my idea is to put my attachments here, and you won't ever see it because it's underneath the cape part, right? This brown cloth. And this brown cape cloth is really thin. So there should be no problem with the magnet, because this is the washer I'm going to use, and I'm going to use a 2-inch magnet, right? So, right? Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Now, I can't just do it like that, because with the weight of that backpack, it's going to be pulling it down, and that's strong, but with walking around, it's going to slide off. So what I thought about doing was making a coupler to where this was inside of something, and then it would. Okay, this is what the coupler looks like. This is it from the top, and if you look at the bottom, this inner lip, that's going to hold the washer to keep it from pulling through. I've got holes around the perimeter, and that's where I'm going to use upholstery thread to stitch it to the armor fabric. Hopefully, that should be enough. I'm also going to use hot glue to glue the washer ring to a patch of fabric. It'll all make sense. So this is the fabric. It's been doubled up to make a 4x4 square, and I've sewn it in that pattern to provide myself strength in the center throughout the whole thing. the washer gets glued to this, hot glued to this, then the coupler gets over the top of it, and then it's stitched. And when you're all done, it looks a little something like this. Okay. Excuse my stitching job. It's not the greatest, but it's going to hold. I did put a little bit of glue on in here so that the coupler is glued to the washer is hot glued to the material, and then it's all stitched together. So this is it feels really solid. So the next step would be to get my magnets and get them attached to the backpack. Then I'm going to take these and put them on the backpack and have, with the help of Mrs. Mediocre Modeler, hold it in position on my back, and when it's there we can just trace around it to see where these need to go, and then I can sew them in. The idea is to be able to put it on without any help, to be able to just go click click. That's my desire. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, because I know how difficult it will be to try and get that on over my head, the armor vest over my head with the backpack on there. I think that's just too many moving parts, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So the next order of operation is getting the magnets on the backpack. Sharpie. And we take the Sharpie and we go, sauce. The click. Click. Okay. I think it worked. Okay. So now, for safe measure, I'm gonna put on the other two bags. I'll put one there and one there. I'm so happy that works. Okay. All right. Moving on. That was just almost too simple. The other thing I can do is next thing I need to do is try it on. And depending on how the angle is, I'm afraid if it tips back too much, I can always shim it at the bottom to push the bottom out. But it's on there. And that's the main thing we were trying to accomplish today. So all we gotta do, from here it's easy. I just sew it. Those on. Then we get to greebly. We get to do that thing. First things first. One step at a time, young Padawan. Okay, with the help of Mrs. Mediocre Modeler, I got the backpack on. So it's not possible for me to do it by myself, and put it over my head and just clicky click. I am finding out that also it doesn't weigh a lot, but it is pulling back, so I'm going to have to either constantly do that or put some kind of straps on the front to where it's going to maybe attach to my belt, hook it to my belt so that it will stay kind of in this configuration. I guess you want to see it, so here you go. Look at that. My concern was that it was a little bit too low, but I also have to keep in mind that I'm going to have my helmet on a lot of the times, and I don't want my helmet to interfere with it. So it feels good. I mean, looks like it looks good. So you know, and I like the way the cape is still swaying a little bit, and it covers up also the plainness of how the cape was. The cape, it still had, I couldn't really iron out the wrinkles in it, and I couldn't get it crumply and up enough. I think it's just the wrong material. But for this, I think it's perfect. It's working just perfectly. Except for that, like I said, I just need to figure out that little bit of business. So, yeah. What that means is we can actually start greebling. So, let's get to that. Okay, so first things first, let's pull that guy out. It's our little window where our light is. Did that on both sides. I just took some tissue and stuck in there, so when I painted this, it didn't get any paint on there. So that is good to go. Oh, well, anyway. So, got the canister. Always have a canister. Can't have a Star Wars backpack without it. A Star Wars backpack doesn't look Star Warsy without a canister. So we've got that canister. I've got some other pieces. Like this is like a little dome from a Saturn V rocket, so that's gonna go on there like that and that. We're gonna offset those. I painted this gray. I don't like that color. I'm gonna have to repaint that. That needs to be a different color. But I'm gonna go with that. I got these little vent things that came off of a battleship. I'm trying to decide whether they're gonna go down here or up here. And then I've got a couple of side accent pieces. One goes there. Put one here on the other side. Here's where it starts to get hairy. It already sticks out from my back, and it feels like a lot, and I feel like I'm getting a lot of overkill, but the pieces I got, remember this guy? It's been painted and added some different pieces to it. Even got a little, found something to block off the end there. Feel like that's gonna go there like that. We got this guy, and it's gonna go here like this. But in my brain, I still feel like maybe that's too sticky outy. I've got too much, and then I still have this open spot here on the sides to contend with. I'm not sure what to do. And and it could be something just as subtle as just like an angled line, just like something like that goes across there, or something. I feel like I'm too projected. I need maybe to go with some flatter greeblies. Something a little more subtle. Just raised pieces. And if I go with raised pieces, See, like even this is like a pouch for a clone trooper. And it's, about an inch and a half, 2 inches thick. But if I took it to the bandsaw and just cut it real shallow, I don't know. And that's why my bench is always such a mess. Because I start pulling stuff out. I'm trying to be organized about it. Got my little tote and all my little greeblies that I drag out for the project go in the tote, and it'll be easier to put them away after the fact. Oh, even though it looks good, it looks good. Let's see. Put tape over the windows. Yeah, I don't know. I'm having not quite builder's block, maybe builder's overload, because it took so much energy to get this going. And now that I'm seeing that I mean, I think that's the way to go. I really do. Find some flatter greeblies, so that means I'm gonna have to go back, either design something else. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. And this is kind of a prime example. It's not completely flat, but it doesn't project way out from the. Wow, and it just goes right there, just like that. It's gonna go there, and I might put some knobs on it. And this is saying, hey, he's out there. This is saying, hey, he's out there! And I think I need less of this and more of this. That's not to say I can't use this somewhere down the road. Maybe this one's smaller. Maybe I just use that one. Maybe that one there. I'm going to have to think on this for a little bit longer. So we're going to do a part 2, a part 3, part 3B. I just think I need a little bit more time to get this in my head. We've made a lot of accomplishments, though. Just getting this up and running and painted and got the attachment parts going, got the lights in it. I mean, this is a really good start. It really, really is. But we're going to take a break and think about this. So, I apologize, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to be right. Okay. Well, you know what that means. It's time for you to go build something. Doesn't have to be big, it could be small. Just put some paint on something. Just something to get that creative flow state going, so you don't get a log jam in your head and you go, what do I do next? But until next time, when we get this sorted out, have fun, be safe, and go build something. Pew 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 pew.